chair if you want to. That would be fine. Okay, what I need for you guys to do is I need for you to run in place really, really, really fast. Faster, faster, faster. Faster. Longer. Keep going. Faster, faster. Go, 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 go.
Faster, faster.
Okay, stop. Do some jumping jacks. Lots of jumping jacks. 1, 2, go, go, go. 3, 4, 5. Okay, Amelia, help her out. Zaylee's already going. Lots of jumping jacks. Okay. Okay, Zaylee, you do it. You keep running. Okay. You keep going, okay, Lucas? I'll get back to you in a minute. Don't stop. Okay. I have a question for you guys. Have you guys ever been thirsty?
Yes.
Yeah?
I've been to 2 million before. It takes 3 days.
It took 3 days to get to 2 million jumping jacks?
It did.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't think you did that.
I didn't.
Okay, you keep going though, okay? Are you getting a little tired?
Yeah.
Are you a little thirsty? Okay, well, I'm just going to talk about water. You keep going, okay? Okay. No. Okay. So, no, Lucas, go! Tell me a time when you... Lucas. Tell me a time whenever you guys were thirsty. Alexis?
When I did that, a little bit right now.
A little bit right now? Well, that's just what we're talking about. Soccer game or a basketball game or a big Lucas, keep going. And you just get really, really thirsty and you're thinking, man, my Lucas. My throat is so dry and it would just, a nice cold glass of water would just be fantastic. Okay, you go too. Only because I'm tired of you smacking my leg. Okay? And so, have you ever thought, and can you imagine walking through the desert and you're like, oh, my throat is just so dry and it would just be so wonderful to have a drink of water, but there's nothing around? You know, something like that. Like Lucas, I'm sure right now, you could go for a cold glass of water. Don't stop. Right? Okay, I'm going to tell you guys a story. Can everybody come sit down? Lucas, are you thirsty? Okay, well, you have to wait. Come sit down.
Do we only
Okay. Hey, we're going to look this way. Okay, I'm going to read you guys a Bible verse, okay? Any asthma attacks are not my fault. Okay? This comes from John. Is John in the New or the Old Testament?
New.
It's in the New. This is what Jesus says to the woman at the well, okay? He says...
New Testament.
Okay, he says, everyone who drinks this water, he was talking about the water from the well, will be thirsty again. But whoever drinks the water I give them will never thirst. Indeed, the water I give them will become in them a spring of water welling up into eternal life. Okay? This is really, really important. Okay? Because what Jesus is saying here is that if we come to him, then he's going to fill us up. And we're never going to have another need he's not going to take care of.
Even running around the world?
Even running around the world, he's going to provide people who will give you water or a place to stay. Think about the birds in the air, okay? Do they worry about where they're going to get their next worm at? No, God just takes care of them. Same as the flowers in the fields, right? God takes care of them and God's going to take care of you. How many of you guys were at camp this past week? How many of you guys have already gone to camp?
Not me.
Okay? Some of you guys haven't yet, but you're going to learn at camp that we're talking about ordinary heroes doing extraordinary things, okay? And the thing is that you can't do it on your own. It's only through Jesus being inside of you. And when he's inside of you, he's like that water. He's like a fountain or a waterfall that never runs dry.
All that be a lot.
All the time. One of my favorite songs is Dwelling in Beulah Land. It's a really old hymn, and you guys probably don't even know it, yeah. But my favorite line in it is, I'm drinking at the fountain that never shall run dry. God's never, ever, ever going to run dry. He's always going to be there to help you. He's always going to be there to provide for you. It will never stop. And that's so fantastic, right? With the whole ordinary heroes doing extraordinary things, do you think that, let's see, who did we talk about this week? We talked about John the Baptist, right?
Yes.
Could John the Baptist have done any of that stuff on his own? No, it was because he serves an extraordinary God, right? What about the little boy who gave his lunch up so that Jesus could feed the 5,000 men, and not counting all the thousands of children and women? Could he have fed all those people on his own? No, it was only because he trusted God and let God do extraordinary things. Okay? The whole thing with this whole water thing is that when you have that water inside of you, when you have Jesus inside of you, you're never going to have another need that Jesus cannot fill. Do you guys believe that? Yeah? Okay, so next time you guys are dying of thirst because the minister's wife makes you do a ton of jumping jacks, I want for you guys to remember that Jesus will always fill your thirst and he's never going to run dry. Can you guys remember that? Very good. Okay, what I have for you guys today is bottled water.
Yay! Yes.
Oh, let's act like ladies and gentlemen. Wait till you get to your parents to open up.
All right, can we turn to John 4 in your Bibles? We're going to be there. It's kind of like an echo from last week. Joseph did an outstanding job with his message on this text, so I'm just going to try to keep up with him in this text today. For the rest of the summer, we're going to take different commercials, different ads, and we're going to put them up against what Jesus says and what the Scriptures say. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. I don't know if you noticed it, but this morning's title comes straight out of a beer commercial. I don't know if you find that inappropriate or appropriate. It doesn't really matter to me if you find it inappropriate or appropriate, because it's going to work well with what I'm saying this morning. Alright? Because if you find it inappropriate, then guess what? I bet you watch the commercial anyway. I don't see you fast forward to the other ones. So this morning we're gonna talk about Don't Stay Thirsty, my friends. And really we're going to see a contrast between the most interesting man in the world and the most important man in the world. Alright? So while I do have a commercial I want you to watch, if you want to plug your ears during the kind of middle part where he talks about the beer part, you may do so. That's not going to make it stop happening. Okay? So let's play the commercial there, Keith. It's not very good quality. That's the best I can get.
That would break a less interesting man's jaw. He's won trophies for his game face alone. He bowls overhand. He is the most interesting man in the world.
I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends.
I love these commercials because he said the same thing at the end of every one. Stay thirsty, my friends. So let's learn a little bit more about this most interesting man in the world. Go to the first slide. Go to the next one, actually. Here's some extra interesting things about him. He says this, he gave his father the talk. Alright, that's how interesting he is. Next one is, he speaks Russian in French. That's how interesting he is. Another one is, he once won a staring contest with his own reflection. And the last one, my favorite ones, he's so interesting, sharks have a week dedicated to him. He's the most interesting man in the world. But he always says the same thing, stay thirsty, my friends. What does that mean? To some it just means, just drink more. That's exactly what it means, right? Just keep drinking this stuff. It's going to be okay for you, all right? Just stay. Go to the next slide. The idea of this, John 4, 1 through 26. We're going to read it real quick. So follow along. It says this, the Pharisees heard that Jesus was gaining and baptizing more disciples than John, although in fact it was not Jesus who baptized, but his disciples. When the Lord learned of this, he left Judea and went back once more to Galilee. Now he had to go through Samaria, so he came to a town in Samaria called Sychar, near the plot of ground Jacob had given his son Joseph. Jacob's well was there, and Jesus, tired as he was from the journey, sat down at the well. It was about the 6th hour. When a Samaritan woman came to draw water, Jesus said to her, "Will you give me a drink?" The disciples had gone to town to buy food. The Samaritan woman said to him, "You are a Jew, and I am a Samaritan woman. How can you ask me for a drink?" for Jews do not associate with Samaritans. Jesus answered her, if you knew the gift of God and who it was that asked you for a drink, you would have asked him and he would have given you living water. Sir, the woman said, you have nothing to draw with and the well is deep. Where can you get this living water? Are you greater than our father Jacob, who gave us the well and drank from it himself, as did also his sons and the flocks and herds? Jesus answered, everyone who drinks this water will be thirsty again, but whoever drinks the water I give him will never thirst. Indeed, the water I give him will become in him a spring of water, welling up to eternal life. The woman said to him, Sir, give me the water so that I won't get thirsty and have to keep coming here to draw water. He told her, go call your husband and come back. I have no husband, she replied. Jesus said to her, you are right when you say you have no husband. The fact is, you have had 5 husbands, and the man you're with now is not your husband. What you have said is quite true. Sir, the woman said, I can see that you are a prophet. Our fathers worshipped on this mountain, but you Jews claim the place where we worship must be in Jerusalem. Jesus declared, believe me, woman, a time is coming when you will worship the Father neither in this mountain nor Jerusalem. You Samaritans worship what you do not know. We worship what we do know, for salvation is from the Jews. The time is coming, has now come, when you worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth. For they are the kind of worshipers the Father seeks. And God in spirit, and worshipers must worship in spirit and in truth. The woman said, I know the Messiah is called the Christ is coming. When he comes, he will explain everything to us. Then Jesus declared, I who speak to you am he. I enjoy commercials. Don't you enjoy commercials? Sometimes I do. I mean, most times I do. You're like, no, I don't like. Here's why I enjoy commercials. Because I enjoy the creativity of some of them. Maybe some of you remember the old Budweiser commercials. You know, Budweiser. Remember those commercials? Yeah, you do. Super Bowl was full of them. And now you remember the Anheuser-Busch commercials with the horses? It seems like beer commercials have the best commercials. Now, there are some pretty neat ones from insurance agencies. They're pretty good. State Farm is there. We'll get to that one this summer as well. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. We all know those commercials, and I find it very intriguing. Now, the best thing about DVR, you skip commercials. When we watch kids' movies or kids' shows, we skip commercials. You know why? Because every commercial on a kid's show is selling a toy. And every kid wants that toy, right? Oh man, it's awesome. I remember as a kid, I used to be a pro wrestling fan. And what I really, really, really wanted growing up was this little stuffed wrestler. He's like this. And there's a number of different wrestlers you can choose from. And I begged, Dad, Mom, I really want a wrestler. I really want, Hulk Hogan or Sting or Ric Flair. Woo, I want all these people. I'm like, oh, it's so neat to have this guy. I never got it. My dad said, we're not giving you that. Well, it looks silly. Except he didn't use the word silly. But I wanted it so bad because the commercials looked so awesome. Because, you wrestled the guy, and the guy looked like he was this big. It'd be like my size when I was like 13. Okay? But I wanted him so bad because the commercials were really good. Well, we ended up getting one for one of our kids because I kind of wanted it. We got it for him. And that thing is so annoying. I don't know what it was, but when you punch him, he says something to you that's not even funny. And then he does go, oh! And so sometimes we'll let the battery stay in the toy. And we'll hear him wrestle and hear, oh! Oh! Here's the bottom line. That was such a waste of money. Right? How many times have you bought something because it looked like it was going to work and it was a waste of money? Yeah, we all have. Maybe you see at the store, you're like, I need that. I need that at the house. It's a waste of money. And so commercials are really good at getting you to buy their product. Here's the issue. They're really good at more than that. When the most interesting man in the world tells us to stay thirsty, he's asking you to buy into a worldview. Alright? So the question is, what does staying thirsty get you? My next slide there. Make sure I'm right. What does it get you? Here's what I figured out. It gets you 3 things, in which the 3 things will be combated by 3 things that the most important man gets you. First one is this. Often, it gets you loneliness. Verse 7, sorry, it's this. When a Samaritan woman came to draw water, Jesus said to her, will you give me a drink? Here's what it's saying. Samaritan women, all women at this time, would gather water together. They'd go to the watering hole, and they would go as a group of women, and they would enjoy each other's company. They would chit-chat about whatever women chit-chat about when they're together. And they'd draw the water and walk back to the city. Guess what? She came by herself. What that means is, she had no friends. You ever seen women like that? Maybe you have. Maybe some of you at one time have been that woman. Alone, separated, nobody really likes you because we'll find out why in a little bit. But but staying thirsty often brings you loneliness. You're alone. You're never happy where you're at. You got to keep trying. And we see in the life of this woman that she comes, not only does she come alone, but she comes at noontime, the 6th hour. If you needed water to do your work for the day, what's the best time to go and get your water? In the morning. As early as possible. Because guess what? It gets kind of warm out there. And to carry a thing of water would be very tiring. And maybe you're carrying 2. I don't know how many they carry, but they had to carry a big jar of water back to the city, which could have been up to 2 miles away. Full-on walk. So she comes alone, which means nobody's there, but she doesn't even come alone. She comes when nobody else is even there. Meaning, she wants even herself to avoid the looks, the stares, the whispers. She's been wounded and she's been hurt. She's alone. Staying thirsty often leaves you lonely. But when you don't stay thirsty, if you drink living water, it says the same thing, it provides understanding. Verse 7 again, Jesus said to her, will you give me a drink? Interesting. Jesus knows what's going on here. He understands the culture better than we do. He sees this woman come by herself. He knows what this implies. But he says to her, will you give me a drink? What do you think that would do for her? Obviously, she's a little uncomfortable. She's uncomfortable because she says, you are a Jew and I'm a Samaritan woman. How can you ask me for a drink? And so the note is, Jews and Samaritans don't get along. That's a whole long history to talk about some other time. But they didn't get along. Not only that, women and men never talked unless it was their husband talking to them. It was just not kosher. It was not right. And so Jesus sits there. He's breaking every single protocol when it comes to being a Jewish man. He's talking to a woman. He's talking to a Samaritan. And he's talking to a Samaritan woman. This is very, very interesting for her. She hears it. She's like, you ever been somewhere and someone talked to you and you didn't realize they're talking to you? You've had one of those moments where you're sitting like in a laundromat. This is my story. Sitting in a laundromat. This is all like 16. I was sitting I did my own laundry, 16. I had to drive the truck, put my laundry in the laundromat. I wasn't allowed to use the washer and dryer. My dad wanted me to learn how to go and do it myself. Okay, I'll do it myself. I'm sitting there, and one other person there, or there's 2 other people in there actually, sitting across the room. And I'm sitting there doing my laundry, and I'm sitting there, and I'm reading my Bible, because I was a good Christian boy at the time. All of a sudden, I hear somebody say, hey, what are you reading? I just keep reading. Kind of like a jerk. I'm just reading my Bible. They're not talking to me. They don't know me. Did you hear that moment where like, wait, me? You're talking to me? Right? It's just kind of uncomfortable. That's her. She's sitting at the well. She sees a man. She avoids eye contact. She doesn't want to be near him because this is awkward already as it is. Because she knows she's coming middle of the day. She knows, he probably realizes, wait, shouldn't you be coming in the morning? He realizes it. She realizes it. He probably realizes it as well. She says, hey, could you give me a drink? A drink. You're talking to me. You can't talk to me. I'm a Samaritan woman. We don't do this. Well, Jesus offers her understanding. It gives her someone to talk to. It does. Ever had that time when you just need to talk to somebody and maybe somebody just off the wall calls you up, says, hey, how's your day? And you just unload on them because you needed to. Maybe this is what happened. Jesus is there and says, hey, could you give me some water? She says, well, wait, whoa. We don't talk. And by the way, you have nothing to draw with because they can't share drawing utensils. That was the culture as well. He had to have his own drawing equipment. So what he asked her is, will you share your stuff with me? This is a big deal, but he offers her an opportunity that she should have really taken hold of. But, she's staying thirsty. So here what happens next. Staying thirsty often leaves you wanting more. Verse 15. Woman said to him, sir, give me the water so that I won't get thirsty and have to keep coming here to draw water. Wouldn't that be something you wish you had? Some of you might have grown up without running water in your home. You had to go get it, didn't you? You had to bring it back to the house. If you didn't have enough water, what happened? You either lived without it or you had to go get it again. And so to have running water in your home is magical. It's phenomenal. It's great. And so here she is, and she's like, I'm tired of coming down here. And not only is he physically tired, I believe she's probably mentally and emotionally tired. I'm tired of coming down here by myself. I'm tired of walking through the city and everybody watching me walk through the city. I'm tired of walking through here and being by myself. No one to chat with, no one to share my hurts with, no one to share funny stories with. I'm tired of that. Jesus, could you give me this living water? You see, staying thirsty always leaves you wanting more. It's never enough. She could have got water all day long and she still would have had to come back tomorrow. Do you see that in our culture? I hope you see that in our culture. We live in a culture now where everything's made to break, right? Ain't that driving me crazy? Everything's made to be broken. When they first made the light bulb, it was made to be a lifetime deal. It wasn't made to break. But then they realized, wait, if we sell a light bulb to each person in the world even, we're done. Right? There's no money in that. So there's a light bulb, I think somewhere on the East Coast, I forget where, that's been lit ever since it was made, and it's still lit. That's what light bulbs are made to be like, for everlasting. Never go out. How many guys ever put in those new fluorescent bulbs, the little twisty ones? You put it in, turn the light on, and it goes poof. You ever done that? I hate those lights. You know how many times I turn a light on and it's poof? That's a waste of $5 right there. It happens. Yeah, right, but that's the way they're made. They're made so that you have to go buy more. But one time, we looked into selling Mary Kay products when we were in college because, that's what we wanted to do because it was a moneymaker. And the deal was, he says, oh, you want to do this kind of stuff because people run out of makeup. Oh, yeah? Yeah. That's why we sell it. We keep selling it so people always have makeup. Guess what? That's a never-ending supply, especially when culture says, you need to wear makeup. You need to look this way. No, you don't. They think you do. They say you do, so you feel like you have to. Our culture thrives on people needing more and wanting more. Stay thirsty, my friends. Well, if I'm not thirsty, then you're not going to buy that product. What does Sprite say? Obey your thirst. Why? Because you'll buy our product. I remember as a kid going to the grocery store, the gas station down the road, ride my bike down to my friends, and we buy Sprite. Why? Because it was the coolest commercial out there. I promise you. It was the coolest commercials when I was a kid. And it said, obey your thirst. Sprite. And oh yeah, I'm getting Sprite. But there's a catch. They always offered the possibility of winning a free pop. Right? The cat, not anymore. Now you got to put a code in your phone, and that's too much work. But now, back then, you could go to the pop, get a pop, and if you open the lid, bottom of the lid, inside the lid, you got a free 20-ounce pop. And so what we'd do, we'd go there, my friends and I would try to look under the cap. Got a winner. We'd go buy it, and we'd stock ourselves for a week. We'd go every day and buy a Sprite because, it was free. And so the culture has taught us very clearly to want more. Every 2 years, they say your phone goes out. You need a new phone every 2 years. You need a new computer every year and a half, every 3 years. You know what? Churches have done the same thing. Why do you think the average stay for a youth minister is a year and a half, and the average stay for a senior minister is 3? Because you need new things. Old things don't last as long. But some of you know better. Some of you have things you've had all your lives. And you just refix it. Somebody in their home always has something that's been duct taped a billion times. Why don't you get rid of it? Well, because it works. Okay. Every time there's a handle missing from a hammer, what do you do with it? Just put duct tape on it. You don't go buy another one. Put duct tape on the hammer. Why? Because it still works. You see, our culture says if it doesn't work properly the way you got it, then don't use it anymore. You see, when you say thirsty, it always leaves you wanting more. That's been a disease in our culture for a long time now. And your kids, my kids, your grandkids, are in the thick of it. I need it. Why? I just do. But Jesus offers something else. He says, don't stay thirsty. He says he provides complete fulfillment, even in the eternal spring. Verse 13, Jesus answered, everyone who drinks this water will be thirsty again, but whoever drinks the water I give him will never thirst. Indeed, the water I give him will come in him, a spring of water welling up to eternal life. She really wants this. She really wants this living water. Could you imagine this spring that just came out of her and she could just pour water out? That would have been ideal for her life. Because not only does it provide for her physically, but it provides for her emotionally. I don't have to walk through the city again. I don't have to feel the shame. I don't have to feel the hurt. I don't have to be different than everybody else. I can be fulfilled right here, right now. And Christ offers that to people. He offers you and me and the culture around us, the world around us, the ability to be fulfilled. And that's the message of the gospel, that we can be fulfilled. If you go on, stay thirsty. Staying thirsty also leaves you shamed. It's verse 17 and 18. It says this. I have no husband, she replied. Jesus said to her, you're right when you say you have no husband. The fact is you've had 5 husbands, and the man you're with now is not your husband. What you have just said is quite true. This is why she walks alone. This is why she had no one with her, because she is different. Even in that culture, she didn't fit in. Jewish culture calls that if you had more than 4 husbands, if you had 5 husbands, even if they all died, if your first husband died, your second husband, and always the 5th husband, they all died, even the next husband wouldn't be your husband. The culture said that's too many men to be in your life. So you therefore, they will not consider that man to be your husband. So he's right. And now some people say, well, she's just living with a guy. That's not completely accurate. They could have gone through any kind of ceremony, or could have gone through the process. They could have been wanting to get married, but a priest may have never married them. A rabbi would have never married them. There wouldn't have been a celebration because, you know what, this is just 6th one. You're just dirty. You're just terrible. No one likes you because you're different than everybody else. You've had 5 husbands. And Jesus says to her, you have 5 husbands. And man with now, you can't even call him your husband. How embarrassing. Do you feel the shame? Guess what? Our culture calls that too. Our culture calls out, says, hey, just stay thirsty. Just keep doing these things. Do this and do this and do this. But by the end of it all, you sit at home and you think, what am I doing? Why is life so hard? Why can't I get life right? Because staying thirsty leaves you shamed, and she's shamed. So shamed that in verse 19, she changes the subject. Let's not talk about me anymore because you're getting too close to home. Let's talk about worship and you being a prophet. This is who you are. Let's change this. I don't want to talk about me anymore. And Jesus understands. He doesn't pursue that, does he? He doesn't just say, no, I caught this part of your life, and we're going to hammer it. Sometimes Christians do that. You're a sinner, you're going to hell. Let's talk about sin some more. No, she says, I'm not ready for this. And Jesus says, okay, let's talk about worship. I'm cool with that. You see, the world says, stay thirsty and just keep pursuing different things. And in the end, it leaves you shamed. How many people have gone through college and they partied their hearts out? They partied every weekend. They partied every night, only to grow up and think, why did I do that? Some of them party so much that they have to go to the hospital and find out what diseases they may have because of all the partying they've done. And they think, why did I do that? It's ruined my life. Maybe you met people like that who partied so hard in their younger years that their life is just terrible because of the ramifications of their partying and their bad choices. See, the world wants you to keep drinking, staying thirsty, pursuing more things in life. But at the end, leave you shamed. Well, there's good news there because the most important man in the world, if you drink living water, he gives you an opportunity. This is a few of verse 7, 10, 16, and 26. Verse 7 says this: when a Samaritan woman came, he said, "Will you give me a drink?" He offered her this opportunity to do something for him, to change the way she's doing things at the moment. Verse 10, Jesus said to her, "If you knew the gift of God and who it is that asks you for a drink, you would have asked him, and he would have given you living water." Again, he throws it into her court. If you knew who I was, if you knew that I was the gift of God, the one you've been waiting for, you would ask me. He keeps throwing opportunity her way, and she's not catching on. Verse 16 says, he told her, "Go and call your husband and come back." She could have just ran away and got her husband and come back and totally dismissed this whole "I don't have a husband" talk. He threw her an opportunity again. Verse 26, another one. Then Jesus declared, "I who speak to you am he." How's that opportunity? Opportunity is, you know who I am now. I just told you. I'm the one that talks about, you talk about here, up here with the prophet and the worshiping. I'm the one that you need to be worshiping here soon. I am. And maybe she catches that. Exodus 3, I am. Tell Moses, tell the Pharaoh that I am sent you. Jesus throws it out there. And don't think she would know the truth there. Don't think she wouldn't have caught on to what he's saying. She gets it. And Jesus prepares her and tells her, "I'm giving you an opportunity here. Catch on to one of these things. This is how this works. You are thirsty. I can give you something to drink. Take it. You are alone. I can give you companionship in the Spirit. You are sad. I can give you joy. I can give you all these things through me." But she has a problem. She doesn't see it quite right. So the story progresses. You read the rest of the story. It goes on. And finally, it happens. She catches it. Wait, you're telling me, Jesus, that you're the one that I've been waiting for. You're the one that's going to offer me something great, and you can make my life better through all the mistakes I've ever made. Yes. And you know what she does? She goes and tells everybody. What he said, verse 39. Many of the Samaritans from that town believed in him because of the woman's testimony. He told me everything I ever did. So when the Samaritans came to him, they urged him to stay with them, and he stayed 2 days. You see, the opportunity was given him finally, she realized, this is the man I've been waiting for. This is the man that needs to save me. This is the only one that can do it. And she grabbed the opportunity, and she told the whole community, and they came to him to know him, to see him, to talk to him, and they urged him, please stay. He stayed 2 days. She could have saved the souls with her testimony of the whole community. Our culture has called for people to continuously search for the next best thing, though lacking. Even though it's a lacking thing, they want it. You need this deodorant. You need this shampoo. You need this facial product. You need these clothes. You need this attire. You need all these things. When you sit back and think, do you really need them? Or are they masking something in your life? Staying thirsty is a very dangerous thing. But Christ, he wants you to know that he wants to provide you with a life that lacks nothing. This is hard to understand because we feel like we have to have this paycheck and this paycheck to make ends meet, and we do. In our culture, we need money to survive. But Christ says, I will give you things, and you will never lack a thing. That's a pretty awesome deal. It's a pretty awesome promise. But then the world says again, the world never wants you to find fulfillment. I don't know how many of you here today are fulfilled with life. Right? Maybe you're satisfied the way life is right now. Why not? Some of you are pretty satisfied. Some of you, it's okay to be satisfied. It doesn't mean okay to be content, necessarily. I like what's going on. I want more of it. But it doesn't mean you just stop what you're doing. It's okay to be satisfied. I'm satisfied in Christ. That's okay to be that way. Don't think you can't be satisfied in Christ. That's fine. Do so. And that's what Christ wants of you, to be satisfied in him. See, Christ wants you to be fulfilled and offers you to fill you with exactly what you need. I don't know what you need this morning. I don't know if you need a hug. I don't know if you just need a handshake. I don't know if you need 20 bucks. God does. I don't know if you need someone to step in your life just to be there. Some of you might need that. Some of you might need someone to be honest with you and tell you that your life is not where it ought to be and that you should do better. Some of you need to do that to someone else. You see, in this church, we're very loving people. Sometimes I think we get afraid to be so loving that we correct people. I think Christians are afraid to correct other Christians because I don't want you to look into my life. But we all need something. And sometimes you or I need someone in our life to step up and say, you know what, David, I think you should do this better. Will I hate you? Probably. Will I get mad at you? There's a good chance for telling me what I'm doing wrong and trying to correct me. That's just being honest. No one likes it. Right? If I came to you and said, hey, Melinda, I know you got a problem with this. Think she'd be happy with me?
Yes.
Not off the bat.
Yeah.
Would she understand? Maybe. I hope so. If I came to you and told you, hey, we need to fix this, how would you feel? You see, Scripture calls for us to be very loving to each other. And to tell my kids to stop doing something, it's a way of saying I love you. Don't do that. You understand that, don't you? As parents, you get it. I correct my kids because I love them. I become judging them. That's silly. The woman at the well shows up and she is lonely, she's scared, she doesn't have anybody around her, and Jesus could have judged her. So I know why you're by yourself. You're a sleazy little lady. He could have done all that. He could have said that. Let's be honest. He could have said what he wanted. You know why? Because he knew the whole story. But he looks at her and says, could you give me some water? And she stops. I can't give you water. Well, if you knew who I was, you'd ask me for water. See, sometimes Jesus is in your life still. You say, if you really knew who I was, you'd ask me for water. And you stop chasing the things around you. Church, I challenge you to drink more Jesus and stop staying thirsty. Because if you stay thirsty, the world wins. Let's pray. Father God, thank you for all you've done. Thank you for your kindness to us and your mercy for us. And God, at the end, let us be like this Samaritan woman. When you call us, when you find us, when you seek us, and God, sometimes it makes us very uncomfortable. We don't want to talk about the past. We don't want to talk about what's happened in our lives. But God, you have made a way that our past means nothing. Like he told her the past, we know your past. I know what you've done. But I still want to talk to you. I still want to save you. But let's be like her at the end when she goes back to her town and tells everybody, he told me everything. He's the one. And they came and they were saved through his words and they understood him. Help us to be like her then. Help us to go and tell the world that Jesus knows our past. He knows our mistakes. He still wants to be with us. He still wants to fill us with his love, his faithfulness, his peace, and his comfort. God, help us to be willing to drink your living water. In Christ's name I pray. Amen. Please stand and sing your invitation song. Maybe you're here and you just don't know what's going on in your life. You maybe want some prayer. We'd love to pray with you. Maybe you're here and you don't have Christ in your life. You need to get baptized. We'd love to talk to you about that and maybe do that as well. And if you just want to come forward and just pray, we're pretty good at that as well. Let's sing.